Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Gorlunk. It's a couple minute riff on IT and IT security, and it's a couple minutes late. This has been one of those mornings where I juggle my schedule a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and I use the Pareto principle, right? 80% of the value comes from 20% of the work, and I slice and I try and fit all the pieces together, get everything done. So this video is coming out a little bit late over lunch as I'm driving back. What to talk about, right? What to talk about? How about this? Should you buy technology or use free technology? And why? And when? A lot of it always comes down to the problem you're trying to solve and the value you're trying to deliver. I joke a lot about managing security on spreadsheets, and that's maybe a little bit of an exaggeration. But if you can do it with a free tool, right? If you can do it with a spreadsheet, if you can do everything manually, and you can do it consistently for a year, maybe 6 months, you can demonstrate that you got the ability to implement the control and sustain the control. And sustainability really is key. And then you can build the business case to say, here's where I need investment, here's where I need improvement. But even so, you can't run everything on a spreadsheet. So how do you decide what to do? So I would put forward the following as a model. One, figure out what framework you're trying to align to. It really doesn't matter which framework it is for the sake of this conversation, because as with anything, you start off one point with the intent of maturing it and changing over time. You may start off with a very tactical framework. You may say, I really care about technical controls, look at SANS, critical security controls. You may start off with a compliance mandate, right? So you start off with the framework. Boom. You risk rank those those controls in the framework according to the impact they'd have in your organization should they fail, right? And you maybe use a quantitative scale 1 to 5. And those impacts are in terms of outages, in terms of reputation, in terms of dollars. So now you know the impacts of not having those controls. Now you look at all the possible things that you can do. And you say, hey, I have limited time. I have limited resources. What can I do here for free? Because free is never free. What can I do here for free that I can report up by spreadsheet, that I can manage and get started? So you slice the control framework that way. What can be accomplished for free, and which of these things, now that you know what can be accomplished and you have time to do, which of these things can then have multiple impacts. So I do one program and it has multiple impacts across multiple controls, right? This is not multitasking, this is multi-resulting. You do one thing, multiple results. So you do a heat map and you say, here are my controls, here's my gaps, here's the things I can do for free. Of those things I can do for free, here's the ones that if I did them would have the biggest reduction in missing controls, and therefore have the biggest reduction overall risk. And then you do those with the free tools and a lot of time. Because anytime you got a free tool, you're either trading quality or you're trading time. Those are the only two things you're going to trade off. So you then do those with free tools and you put in place a program. You've got to establish the program to be sustainable. So you revisit this quarterly, biannually, and you do the same process. And now though, you're like, what am I doing that I could automate or trade dollars for time? So I've been doing endpoint management, and I've been doing application whitelisting, and I've been doing firewalls with Microsoft's utilities and a Linux firewall. It creates this amount of time. I've been doing it for 6 months. I know it's sustainable. I've got a program in place. I've got to document it. If I invest in this better tools, I'll save this amount of time, then I can invest that time back into the process to say, here's the next area of my heat map that I could run with free tools and time and sweat equity to reduce the risk. Cycle that forward over and over again. Always using your time wisely, always using your time in a more and more narrow focus with better technologies. That's how I would do it. That's how I figure out if you should do it. And if you're doing it, you should do it with free or paid technologies. And when you do it with paid technologies, how do you build the business case? Have a good one.